I thought introverts were supposed to be quiet. Then why can't they shut up about being introverts? Hi, my name is Junior Egg, and today we're going to be looking at some bad introvert memes, also known as Introvert Memes. Yes, I have a bone to pick. I think it all started when I saw this introvert meme on our Introvert, which I'm subscribed to out of spite. It's called "How Do Introverts Socialize?" And I'd love to show you this. I want you to pay attention to the low-key vibe that whenever something is posited about an introvert, the opposite thing is subtly being posited about the extrovert. We're just not really thinking about it. You see, introverts like to talk about their interests, unlike extroverts who hate talking about their interests. Oh yeah, I'm an extrovert, I have interests, but don't talk to me about them. Don't talk to me about them because I hate it. I spent my entire life studying literature, but if you talk to me about books, I'm gonna tune out because it's the introverts that like talking about their interests, not me. Deep talks are better than small talks. I agree. But real quick, are you saying that because you genuinely like deep talks more than small talks? Or is it because you refuse to participate in that generic human experience that is getting to know someone on a rapport level before jumping into the deep end with them? Because not everybody's the same level of open. Some people are going to be a little bit more closed off, and to get to those deep talks with them, you're going to have to establish some rapport on a baseline level before you dive deep with those people. And if you never learn how to establish that baseline rapport, then you're missing out on a lot of opportunities to talk to people in that deep way that you desire. Introverts can be good at socializing. Yeah, I'm not really surprised why 90% of extroverts think that they're introverts, because we just socially decided that if you have any kind of self-perceived social defect, you are an introvert, and that is a valid excuse. Introverts are objective type people. As opposed to what? As opposed to what? The subjective extrovert? You're telling me being an introvert makes you more objective, like staying alone in your room makes you more in tune with the structure of reality. Oh yes, my beliefs aren't just paranoid delusions stacking on top of each other like a schizophrenic who hasn't taken their meds in too long. No, I'm more in touch. I'm more in tune with reality than those people going outside and interacting with the world and talking to other human beings. It's me that is the logos. Sometimes we want to be left alone. Sometimes we want to be included. Most of the time, we want to be included with the option to be left alone. That's everyone! Everybody wants to be included with everything, but then have the option of declining. That's not an introvert thing. That is just the ideal situation to be in with any kind of social activity ever. Of course you want this situation. Everybody wants this situation. Everybody wants to be able to hypothetically be invited to everything, but be able to not go to the things that they don't want to go to when they don't want to go to those things. Find me one person who wants to be forced to attend every activity they're invited to, and find me one person who never, ever wants to be invited to anything ever. None of those people exist. They're just, I don't know, some kind of extreme construct that exists in your imagination. And most of this introvert shit is just human being shit. All you're doing is you're taking this thing that everybody thinks and you're saying it only applies to you and it makes you special. Okay, here's a comic that's very similar to the last one. Guy approaches girl, says want to go out. Girl says no, but she says, I don't want to go anywhere with anyone, so don't take it personally. Now, I don't know how to break this to you. If this has happened to you, but this is bullshit. I say this with love and understanding and respect, but that's bullshit. Pay closer attention, okay, to how the author drew the man in this comic. You'll notice he's overweight and clearly not smooth, portrayed as not being smooth whatsoever. He comes in with finger guns and a wink. which is like, I don't know, like a band kid never grew up. If this guy was not overweight and cringe, he would probably have gotten that date with this girl. And it would have nothing to do with her being an introvert. So the whole I'm an introvert, so I don't want to hang out with you, but it's not personal. It is absolutely fucking personal. And I get it, right? You need excuses to turn down people that you don't want to hang around. The issue is that it's also self-deceptive. When you tell the person, yeah, I don't want to hang out with you because I'm an introvert, you reinforce this introvert narrative in your head. And you're starting to think more and more, oh, okay, I'm doing these things because I'm an introvert. When in reality, you're saying and doing these things because you legitimately just don't want to hang out with the person. It's an excuse. Side note, I really love how she draws the face of the rejected man in the 4th panel. Like he's got these bags under his eyes, like he's gonna neck himself in 2 more panels. Hang in there, buddy. This next part of the show I call Schizoid personality disorder masquerading as a quirky identity label. What they're afraid of. Vampires, it's the sunlight. Superman, it's kryptonite. Introverts, it's getting a phone call. Someone having a panic attack. Are you okay? No, I have to make a phone call. I understand. I get it. I don't like making phone calls. It's hard. It's tough. But it's also not a fundamental aspect of my personality. It's not a core, immovable part of my identity. It's actually something that I could move, I could make better, and I would actually very much like to improve. And I just feel as though justifying that pattern of behavior with a nice little identity label that makes me feel okay about it is a terrible fucking idea. I'm an introvert, and I'm an extrovert, says the skeleton bleeding, and then the extrovert tries to hug the introvert, and the introvert says, "Get away from me." You see, this is really funny because extroverts are hideous, horrific creatures who will bleed all over you and ruin you. How to make small talk with an introvert. Step 1, identify introvert. Step 2, don't. You know what this reminds me of? It's this high intelligence, low wisdom shit that I hate on the internet, where people think they're so smart and they're so interesting and they're so quirky because they live in their own heads. And then they immediately put down people who they perceive as less intellectually cognizant or available as them. It reminds me of this like a 4chan post where Thanos is like, if I snap my fingers, I'll destroy everybody with an IQ of below 110. And everyone on 4chan was like, great idea. Get rid of the stupid people. Wonderful. And I don't know, high int, low whiz. There's something missing from the equation that is deeply human that is missed out with just the focus on pure intelligence. Not to mention most of those fuckers would get snapped away, I'm telling you. Extrovert kid who wants to be my friend. Me and trying to figure out what I did to warrant this harassment. Look, advice. If you are in school, if you are in a setting where you are a developing mind and you are an introvert, and an extrovert comes up to you and wants to be your friend, you do not know how good you have it. You have no idea. Girl invites person to hang out. Person starts talking. Girl says, I made a mistake. I'm so tired. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here. I thought introverts were supposed to be like good in one-on-one settings, and extroverts were supposed to be good on group settings. Now it seems that the goalposts have shifted a little bit, and introverts are just bad at everything. Could possibly be that talking to somebody you're not interested in is tiring for everybody. And talking to a tiring person could be draining for everybody. And even the most extroverted person doesn't want to just listen to somebody yap about nothing. And maybe in this situation, what the girl should have done was just interrupt the guy saying, I'm not really interested in what you're saying, and try to divert the conversation somewhere where she would be more interested and gain more energy from the interaction from. Oh, but it's okay. She's an introvert. It's fine. It's fine. Speaking of personality labels, which are clearly just copes, strong Sigma male vibes here. Look at this. The sheeple in a crowd together, probably dying of COVID-19. Meanwhile, we have this Chad, with what looks to be a dog or a cat. And he stands alone from the pack. Heck, maybe he's even leading the pack. Dare I say? I love this one. So extroverts, they say things out, but introverts, they speak in mind. I love the low-key vibe that, like, extroverts are just these soulless automata with no internal monologue, while introverts are the ones who are, like, capable of internal thought and, like, thinking on a higher level. Because the extroverts, they're just blah, blah, blah. They think by speaking. But an introvert thinks by thinking. And that's what makes them so cool and so quirky. Maybe speaking things out loud is good sometimes, and you should do it, and you should learn how to do it. But also, maybe sometimes thoughts are better kept to yourself, and you should think about them first, and then decide whether or not you want to say them. You know? Telling an introvert to speak up is just as offensive as telling an extrovert to shut up. Really. I'm not so sure that we should be doing this. Oh, sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you speak up?
Shut the fuck up.
Just as offensive. Step 1, think of what you want to say. Step 2, say it. How to talk to people. Oh, God. I just want to be dead. Introvert might not say much, but has a universe inside his head. As opposed to extroverts who are fucking stupid. Me, an introvert trying to fit in. Yeah, it must be really hard to have state-mandated introversion. That's tough, dude. That's tough. Look, I want to conclude this video by saying, if you feel like you're an introvert and you have trouble fitting in, find me one extrovert meme. One extrovert meme, not an introvert compared to an extrovert meme, just extroverts talking about extroverts with extroverts. Go on, find me that meme. I can find you 200,000 introvert memes. Find me one extrovert meme. And when you fail to do that, I want you to wonder why that is, and if you really don't fit in. Because I think maybe you do. Egg, why are you shitting on introverts? You're an introvert. Gatekeeping is all I have left.